I heard the shutter before I opened the door. One clean click, like a coffin lid snapping shut. No camera in sight. No one else inside. But the photograph lay waiting, dated 1923, my face staring back. The smell of rust drifts through the disused rail depot every time I come here. Chicago's winter air gnaws the skin, and the neon sign across the street buzzes like a hornet nest. I rent the upstairs room of a boarding house whose walls are paper thin and whose pipes rattle at dawn. Each night I walk past the old warehouse, a black skeleton against the moon, carrying my camera and the weight of 30 years chasing stories too cold to stay buried. 2 weeks ago, the Tribune's archive clerk handed me a brittle envelope. Inside, a stack of sepia prints signed E. M. Greaves, 1923. Every shot captured the same moment from a different angle, a man in a fedora collapsing in a rain-slick alley, light flaring like Judgment Day. In the final frame, the photographer's own reflection stared back in a broken shop window, blood already misting his coat. No arrest. No motive. Case abandoned when Coolidge was still president. But someone had added a fresh note in pencil. He knew you'd come. That night the bulbs in my apartment pulsed like a heartbeat. My own camera powered on without film. Through the lens I glimpsed a man in a brimmed hat standing behind me. I started digging, city records, morgue reports, whispered names and smoky bars. The name Greaves kept appearing in half-legible ledgers, like someone rewriting history in disappearing ink. A retired detective, eyes cloudy as stone glass, said Greaves photographed mobsters for a living and knew too much to stay breathing. Yet every informant I found repeated the same phrase, he never really left. Old negatives led me to an abandoned speakeasy beneath LaSalle Street. Dust thick as ash. Piano keys yellowed like old teeth. In the darkroom, a single red bulb flickered to life when I stepped in. On the counter sat a camera older than sin, its last frame undeveloped. When I pulled it, my own hands trembled. The image formed slow and sick, me, today, standing exactly where I stood. I called the only person I trusted, Clara, my editor, and once more than that. She arrived before midnight, trench coat drawn tight. But when I handed her the print, she didn't flinch. Instead, she said, "You finally found him." Turns out Clara's grandfather was Greaves's apprentice. Family lore said he vanished the night Greaves died, leaving behind a warning. The lens keeps what it loves. Clara's voice cracked when she admitted she'd been tracking the same anomaly for years, each photographer drawn in, each swallowed whole. "You were next," she whispered. We returned to the speakeasy, snow knifing sideways across the streets. At the stroke of midnight the camera clicked by itself, a bright magnesium flare searing the dark. From the alley beyond the cracked door came slow, measured footsteps. The man in the fedora emerged, face half shadow, half mirror. My own features stared back, decades older, eyes empty of sleep or mercy. He raised the ancient camera. "Every shot steals the ears," he said in my voice. "I am what you become when you can't stop looking." Clara shouted for me to move, but the air thickened like syrup. I lunged forward, tearing the film from the reel. The figure shattered into a scatter of light, like glass catching sunrise. Silence roared. Dawn found us on LaSalle Street, the city washed pale and new. The negatives were blank. My camera, once reliable as breath, refused to power on again. Clara pressed my hand, eyes unreadable. We filed no story. Some truths won't print. I've spent decades chasing murders, but this one stalked me instead. Maybe Greaves wasn't killed at all. Maybe the lens devours anyone who stares too long into the dark. Maybe I'm already fading, frame by frame. Tonight, a single photograph waits on my desk. It shows the alley, empty but for a shadow wearing my coat. No matter how many times I burn it, it returns. Tell me, when the shutter falls again, will you see me, or will I see you first?